Happy Friday, everybody. Posting a little bit late. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend and you're ready for learning on Monday. Keep those emails coming and sharing that work. And Brooke has chicks and I've seen some poems. Keep that up. Miss you guys so much. Okay, chapter 30, page 233. Ben called on Saturday morning, but Griffin was afraid to say much. What if the police had bugged their phone? So, Ben, did anything unusual happen yesterday? Any visitors at your house? Oh, yeah, Ben replied nervously. I think we all had visitors. They talked about you a lot. The visitors, I mean. Are you all right? Kind of, Griffin told them. For now. You? I'm still part deaf in one ear from my mother yelling. There was an awkward pause. How about the apple? Griffin subjected him to a long silence. I don't know anything about any apple. He was dying to say, It's okay, it's still hidden, it's safe. But there was no way he could risk mentioning the card now. At this moment, it might be the single hottest item in the greater New York area. Oh, yeah, gotcha, Ben stammered. Have you seen the paper? There's a lot about what happened, but they don't mention any names. That's good news, right? Griffin sighed. I don't know what's good news or bad news anymore. The only good news was not being arrested. He expected it to happen at any second. He could hear distant police sirens and every ordinary household sound, the power hum of the computer, the whir of the microwave, the refrigerator motor. He spent the weekend in a state of constant terror, sleeping no more than 5 or 10 minutes at a stretch. He was truly astonished still to be a free man when school resumed on Monday morning. It took an enormous mustering of courage to appear in the halls, but to his surprise and relief, all eyes did not instantly dart to him. True, the heist was the big story in Cedarville, yet it did not seem to be known who the prime suspects were. Maybe that made sense. Wasn't it typical of the adult world not to consider that kids could pull off such an elaborate operation? The other team members, Pitch, Savannah, Melissa, Logan, and Darren, kept their distance. Everyone understood that the heat was on. They're probably under orders from their folks to stay away from you, Ben offered. I sure am. It was one of the first things my mother yelled. Sort of dumb, right? I mean, the police already know who we are. Don't worry, Griffin promised. I'll take all the blame. My plan, my problem. He looked around uneasily. To be honest, I can't believe the cops haven't come for me yet. Did you see the story in the Sunday paper? Ben asked. It just about accused Swindle of ripping somebody off to get the card in the first place. The whole country is going to learn what a crook he is. Griffin winced. That means one of us has been talking too much. Probably Darren. It's one thing to answer a few questions and another to give a play-by-play of the whole operation. That same article had a long description of the smart pick plucking the card out of Swindle's tree. Anybody can check with the patent office and find that's my dad's invention, and that could lead them to me. I'm toast. But that was the astounding thing. He wasn't toast. Although Griffin's fevered imagination conjured up a police officer behind every telephone pole, Detective Sergeant Vizzini did not come back for him. Not that day, not Tuesday, not even Wednesday. People were still buzzing about the missing baseball card, but the world kept on turning. Even as Wendell Palomino had been released from the hospital and could now be found behind the counter of his shop. There weren't many customers. Word has spread that the dealer could not be trusted. Griffin held that fact to his heart. It was a glowing coal on an icy night, a tiny measure of justice. Did that mean the intense heat was beginning to cool off? Was it crazy to believe such a thing? Even Mom and Dad let Ben come over for a couple hours so they could work on their science project together. At least Mom said okay. Dan was making himself pretty scarce lately. Griffin couldn't escape the feeling that his father was avoiding him out of the anger and distress of the whole affair. It made him unutterably sad. Have you been noticing the others talking to me in school? Ben whispered during their research. They're asking what's going on with the apple. Tell them to hang in there, Griffin advised. It isn't over yet. You mean you've got it? I know where to get it, Griffin replied cryptically. Ben couldn't hold back. Where do you mail it to, Griffin? Who's keeping it for us? It's not a good idea for you to know. It was a measure of their friendship that there was no suspicion in Ben's eyes. He trusted Griffin absolutely and had faith in the man with the plan. When do you think it's safe to go for it? It's been almost a week now. How long do we have to wait? That was the million-dollar question. The coast seemed to be clear, but how could it be? The passage of 6 days didn't mean that the heist had never happened, and the revelation that Swindle deserved what he got didn't undo the fact that the card had been taken from his house. And yet, where were the police? Not at the Bing home, not at the school. Griffin still couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched, but it was exactly that, a feeling. The facts suggested that the cops must have moved on to other things. All crime didn't grind to a halt just because a baseball card got stolen. They had new cases, laws to enforce, police business to attend to. I hope. Griffin knew that the longer he waited, the safer he would be. He also knew that the more time the card was out there, the greater the chance that something might happen to it. He analyzed the situation every which way, and the answer always came back the same. The moment was now.